Hello, folks. Today is Monday, June 22nd, or June 26th, sorry. And we are on primary eve. Tomorrow, June 27th, is the big primary in New York. That's our big primary day. It's the end of June, and we are having some primaries here in central New York. In Onondaga County, there are several races going on. As you know, we just got done with the early voting period. Early voting is over. Absentees, those have been requested and mailed out. If you don't have your absentee but still wanted to vote by absentee, you are almost out of time. You will have to go and have somebody come in tomorrow to get your absentee, and you have to postmark it tomorrow. So if it's not done, your only option really at this point is to vote in person at your polling place. But that's what I wanted to talk about tomorrow is we have primary polling places open. About 75 polling places across Onondaga County, so you can cast your ballot. But of course, not everybody can vote in a primary. Primaries are closed in New York, and those primaries are, you have to be registered in the party and live in the area that is having a primary. And that's very important in odd years, because in even years you usually have a primary county-wide for either governor or Congress, something like that. But that's not what happens in odd years. In odd years, a lot of times you don't have county-wide primaries, you have local primaries. And that's what's happening this year. We do have one county-wide primary, but it's only for the Conservative Party. That's for the district attorney race. That is countywide. And if you're a conservative, you can go vote there. And I'll talk a little bit about that when we get to polling places a little later on in this podcast. But I'll talk about that now. If you're a conservative and you live inside the towns of Pompey, Salina, or the city of Syracuse, then you're voting at your normal polling place. However, if you are a conservative that lives outside of those areas and the other 17 towns that we have, then your polling place will be consolidated to one polling place per town. So go to our website, onvote.net, and that will get you your correct polling place. If you're a Democrat in the city of Syracuse, you have a primary tomorrow. There are primary races for Common Councilor at Large. There are primary races for, these are all the citywide races, City Auditor, and School Board. Those are all have primary races. And then if you live inside either Common Council District 1, Common Council District 4, or Onondaga County Ledge District 15, you will have a primary race as well. As well as those other ones, you'll have an extra race on the ballot to fill out. Those are the Democratic primaries that are happening tomorrow. And if you are a Republican that lives in the town of Salina, there's a supervisor primary. And if you're a Republican that lives in the town of Pompey, there's a supervisor and town board primaries. So those are the primaries that are happening tomorrow. You should really check your polling place, because we had a lot of changes happen because of redistricting and a few polling place changes that closed. If you go to our website, onvote.net, you can enter in your name and your address and find out your polling place. It'll tell you where you're registered. It'll tell you which party you're registered in, too. A lot of times people think that they're registered in a party when they're not. You can check that out, and you won't be able to vote on tomorrow. There are affidavit ballots available tomorrow to people who have recently moved. So if you have moved from, and it was past the registration deadline, you can actually vote by affidavit if you've moved into the city of Syracuse and you're a Democrat, or into the towns of Pompey and Salina and you're a Republican. You can vote by affidavit tomorrow. Or a conservative that moved into Onondaga County. You cannot change your party by affidavit, though. That had to be done by February 14th. So if you do that, it won't count. But we will update your party registration for the next election. But those are counted after election day, affidavit ballots. Court orders are available tomorrow. There's a judge on standby. If for some reason you believe you should be able to vote, but you are not registered or not registered in the party that you think you were registered in, you can come down and talk to the judge, and they can give you a court order, and you can vote. And let me talk a little bit about the polling hours are 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's standard now in primaries and general elections. And if we want to look at results, you want to go to our website, onvote.net. Around 9 p.m., the results for early voting and the absentees that we scanned before Election Day will be up. And then the Election Day vote will start to come in over the next 2 hours. And then if any races are within what's the smaller absentee ballot threshold, now that we've already counted a lot of the absentees, but absentees that came in today and tomorrow, they will not be part of tomorrow night's results. So those you will, and over the weekend as well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those will not be canvassed in time for tomorrow night's scan. Those will be counted on July 6th. So any affidavits and absentees that are counted on July 6th, some races, if they're really close, you can't declare a winner and until we certify the election. We never declare winners until we certify, but sometimes the media does. Sometime tomorrow night, once we get all our work done, I will post on the County Board of Elections social media, Facebook and Twitter, the results or the number of absentee ballots that are remaining to be counted. And so people can kind of understand if a close election comes, whether there's any chance of flipping that race. Those will be on our Twitter and Facebook pages. And finally, remember, it's a very long day for our election inspectors, so be very nice to them. If you're going into a polling place, do not wear election material that has the name of the candidate that is on the ballot in that polling place. Please do not do that, because that is not allowed. Inside the 100-foot mark inside of a polling place, you cannot electioneer at all. So no paraphernalia, but also you can't be telling people how to vote within that 100-foot mark as well. Let people go in there and make their choices. And then, of course, when the results come, believe the results. If you believe that that there's something happening at a polling site, do not contact me personally. I'm going to be very busy all day. I may not see Facebook messages or Twitter messages or anything like that. Call the Board of Elections, 315-435-VOTE. We will dispatch people out if you think there's some problem, or we can maybe even answer that question. That's the best way to do that. And then finally, as I said, results will start at around 9 p.m. Absentee results won't happen until July 6th. And if any race is in the dreaded hand count, I don't think dreaded, but for us it's sometimes dreaded, it'll happen the next week after that, probably around July 12th or 13th. So that's the timeline for certifying these results, and then we move on to the general election. So that's all I got for you today. We did have the North Syracuse Village hand count that happened today, and it was a 7-vote race between the second and third place candidates after the hand count. The Democrat Pat Gustafson, who was a trustee, is being certified as a trustee. Unfortunately, John Melvin, who was a trustee, a Republican trustee, he lost. But John Bolton, who is a Republican newcomer, he won with the most votes. But these were not a lot of people who voted. It was 255 voters on election day and about 33 on absentees. So it was a very low turnout election, unlike we saw with Liverpool, and it was very close. So every vote counts in every election. That's what I like to say. We got that hand count down today, and we'll be certifying that on Wednesday. So that's all I got for you today. I got to go to bed because I got to be at work at 4 in the morning. It'll be a very long day for all of us election workers. Actually, I'm going to go get some dinner and then go to bed. Thank you so much for letting me be your elections commissioner. And I hope to see you out there tomorrow if you have not already voted and you want to vote and you're eligible to vote in this primary. Bye-bye.